Welcome to It's This or Drugs. I'm your host. Well, someone had to say something.
No, thank you, Amanda.
Yeah.
And I am a host. I'm just a co-host. One of four.
So to begin the intros, I'm Christina. Current genre of choice is absolutely romance. And books I'm currently reading are almost too numerous to count. That's my style.
We'll go oldest, youngest, so Hannah can go next.
Thank God.
So I'm Hannah, and I am currently reading Brandon Sanderson's latest book in the Stormlight Archives. It's called Wind and Truth, and that leads me to my current genre of choice, which is high fantasy. It's a 63-hour listen. It's long, but I love it.
That's like a full-time job book.
Feels like it.
I'm Sarah. My genre of choice is honestly, I don't know, whatever is something entertaining. And the only other book I'm reading right now is The Gospel Comes with a House Key, and I don't remember who wrote it off the top of my head, but it's for a different group right now. And I wish I was reading something else, but after I stopped reading, when I finished this book, I didn't know what to do. So, Amanda?
Thank you, Sarah. I'm Amanda. My current genre of choice, I think, is going to be more like mystery fiction. Mystery, but with a light on the scary element. So like the Lost Bride trilogy it's pretty much that. And the current book I'm reading, I'm in the middle of a few. It's the autism partner book. Don't remember the author. The Mirror, which is the second book in the Lost Bride trilogy. Again, don't remember the author. I still haven't finished it. And then, I know. It's because I'm physically reading it and I'm not listening to it. And then All About Love by Bell Hooks. So those are the three that I'm in the middle of right now.
Okay, so to briefly rewind.
Nora Roberts. Nora Roberts
yeah.
is the Lost Bride trilogy author. The third book is coming out this year. So
Yes.
I've got.
Oh, it is. We made it to 2025.
It's a year, barely. It's like still almost a year away. It's not till November.
It's 10 months away. It'll be here like that.
I wish I had not even read any of it until all of them came out.
So that was my fault. I'll just say it now. I dragged everybody into this book series with me. That's on me.
I was so happy because I was like, this is a book that I can read that Hannah's reading that isn't going to break my heart into 1,000 pieces or make me try and change my life.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like I'm always the one that takes Hannah's book recommendations. And yes, I do have a broken heart most of the time. But I do it. I know what I'm getting into. It's typically because I want my heart broken.
I just have no self-control. I need to wait until they've been out for a while because I couldn't even check it out from the library. Or I could, but I have to wait 100 years. And I'm like, how am I going to read it? Oh, I can buy it? All right, bye. And now certain people in this house have no idea how many books I've bought on my Kindle. You can't see it. You don't have them physically. There's so many books because I'm like, all right, need to read the next one. Not available at the library, so I guess I'm buying it. It's fine.
Oh, I just bought a book.
So small.
I actually am. I found the books I'm currently reading. One is The Adult Chair. One is How to Keep House While Drowning.
Ooh,
this is a depressing amount of self-help stuff on my Kindle. Jesus and John Wayne. I'm really like, you see why I just blew through a romance book in the middle of trying to reread Firekeeper's Daughter.
Did you say
I need a little bit of Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its and John Wayne.
Jesus.
Jesus. Jesus. Okay.
Jesus.
Not Cheez-Its. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
I should have known that. I've
gosh.
heard of Jesus and John Wayne. Why did I think you
It's a
said
great read.
Cheez-Its?
I love that book.
What
Me
could
too.
Cheez-Its and John Wayne?
That's Kate Match, right?
Oh, but I
Also-
bought The Dark is Rising because I'm reading that to the kids. The Dark is Rising sequence by Susan Cooper. Absolute classic fantasy. Everyone should read it.
I'll take
Also-
your word for it.
I know, you will.
We need to rewind briefly because Amanda introed us and said, "Welcome to It's This or Other Drugs," but she didn't say where we talk about books we're reading to
Other
survive these
drugs.
dire. Did I say other drugs? Okay, I can address that too.
I'm
because
listening.
that's how it's been in my head since we started the group. And every time I look at it, I'm like, no, it's this or drugs, not this or other drugs. Don't ask me why. I might have typed it in wrong somewhere on my phone. Anyway, it's this or drugs. Reading can be a drug, other drugs, whatever.
That is the most homeschool thing that's been said on this podcast
Oh gosh.
so far.
That's so mild. It's gonna get so
That and
much
rock
worse.
music, guys.
So we're backing up because we need to talk about what we're doing here.
Hannah feels like she's leading a work meeting right now.
We
right.
started this book club last year. Was it last year, 2024?
Yeah.
Because last year was only like a month ago. So
Yeah, and we made it through, I think, 3 books total.
Yes, it was 3 books total because I had not picked one yet. This was the one that I picked.
And then we decided we would just full on commit and set a recurring calendar event for us to regularly gather and talk about books. So that's what we're doing here. And we're doing it because the world is hard and life is hard. And books are a good escape tool.
Sometimes. Sometimes they're a good escape tool. Sometimes they're just more revealing of the horrors.
especially if you take a book recommendation from Hannah or Amanda.
Mhm.
Well,
I
you're
can't-
just confronted with your own personal horrors, not the world's horrors necessarily. You're
What
just
can I say?
confronted by your own self.
So we're going to talk about books on this podcast, and that's what we're going to talk about. We'll probably talk about other stuff, keeping it really lighthearted and relaxed.
Relaxed.
No one's going to listen to
Lighthearted?
this, so it's fine.
Sarah says from the deepest hopes at the bottom of her heart, no one is going to listen to this.
We'll get a HelloFresh sponsor next week.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
So Amanda picked the book for this round.
I did.
Are we ready to talk about the book, or does anybody have any funny stories from their morning that they want to share before we
We need to
jump
shake it
in?
off.
My morning was not funny. Okay.
All right.
Oh, we had a scheduled power outage. So
Oh.
it was a calm morning. It wasn't a amusing morning. Dark,
Scheduled
no
power
Wi-Fi,
Oh,
And there it
Because-
is.
fighting to the death over control of the Nintendo Switch, the only device that had battery power in the house. Well, I mean, my phone had battery power, but I wasn't sharing. I was playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, so
The only funny thing was telling me literally out of the blue while she was eating breakfast. Who? Can I say that?
We'll bleep it.
Yeah, you can bleep that out. A certain
The only thing that redacted said at the kitchen table.
small person in my house said that moms don't have jobs to me. So unprompted, we weren't talking about anything else. I was just trying to make myself breakfast, and so that was rude.
so that came out of nowhere? Just
Yes,
like,
we weren't talking. She was just sitting there eating cereal, and she just said it, out of nowhere. And yesterday, I cleaned poop out of underwear 3 times. So, out of the same child who's potty training. And
She's
it's
like, that's not a job.
the
That's a Friday night.
best job ever.
We need
Well-
to be reevaluating the Peppa Pig situation. I'm sure it's coming from that. If you just kept him on Bluey, this wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Bluey has been more often than Peppa recently, and I've actually been paying more attention to Bluey, which is unfortunate because yesterday's episode was like there was just a lot of it was like a mom episode anyway, relatable mom stuff in it, and I didn't have time to cry in that moment, so
I
inconvenient.
always have time to
I say that's just is time. Time is weeping, and weeping is time. Like,
Yeah, except I cry and then it's mom, mom, mom. Why are you sad? Why are you sad? It's because I don't have to explain myself.
that's when you have to break out a Daniel Tiger song. Just find the one, about
Is there one about
feelings
crying? Because
and
the only one that's stuck in my head right now is find a way to play together.
sometimes
Say that like
we
400
feel
times a
two
day.
feelings at the same time.
And they're
that's
both
okay.
sad.
Different
All right.
versions of that.
Moving on.
Oh, the questions about
Fun.
crying. Those are rough questions. Last night asked me, if my face is just a little bit sad, he'll go, oh, well, I did it too. The small child who lives in my home said, Mama, are you a little bit crying? You a little bit crying? Just like a sad face, no tears or anything. I was not a little bit crying. It was some TV show we were watching.
Yeah.
Were you crying at all?
No, not at all. He just is that tuned into like what my face is doing.
Oh. All right. Well, should we talk about the book?
I don't think we've done the be yourself stuff yet. I'm kidding.
Hold on, I thought that was a note for like.
Oh my god.
We're following an outline, folks.
The deer in the
Let's talk
headlight
about the book.
looks. You guys are like,
Yeah, I was like, is there a rule that I didn't follow? Oh no, where is it?
Well, it says book chooser take over, so go ahead, book chooser.
I didn't watch this.
Hey, hit
And
it.
just hit us with all the diagnoses. I did choose this book. Hey, let's talk about the book. I wish that I would have had a little summary prepared of the book. I don't feel like I need to. I'm not summarizing the book. Google is free. I'm not doing that.
Yes.
I chose the book because I read Warrior Girl Unearthed, a book by the same author, and it exists in the same universe as it's not a sequel, but it happens after what happens in Firekeeper's Daughter happens, and some of the characters are the same, but the focus is not like on any of the same characters. Like they're there and they're intertwined. I chose it because I really liked Warrior Girl Unearthed and wanted to look. It was like really, really feel like I learned a lot, and like the story really sucked me in, and it was, yep, I liked it. So I chose the book by the same author.
Has anyone else besides Christina read Warrior Girl Unearthed? Hannah, have you read it?
I
haven't
have
read
not.
it either.
I really would like. I want to read it again after reading this one. Like I listened to that interview.
Yeah, so did I.
This morning, and she was like, "Yeah, you can read Warrior Girl Unearthed just as a standalone. It's not like you don't have to read it." But I'm glad I did read that one first, and then I got really, really cool context from this book, from Firekeeper's Daughter. So I'm sad for you guys, for Hannah and Sarah, that you didn't read that one first, but it's still going to be, I would still really recommend reading that one after.
I liked the book. I haven't read a ton in the last, I don't know, year or two because I don't like going and just trying to find something to read on my own. I basically only read books that somebody else recommends for me to read. So It was nice. It's one of the first books that I've stayed up late reading because normally I cannot keep my eyes open after like 10:30, no matter what. And I stayed up one night like way too late, like way after midnight, laying in bed reading it because of the suspense part and just wanting to know like what's going to happen, and then couldn't fall asleep because I was like too wound up even when I stopped reading. And so then I stopped reading it. I like quit reading it after like, I don't know, 8 o'clock. I'm like, can't read it because I'm going to be wired. And because I was having I had like a weird, scary dream from the other Lost Bride series that we were reading. I had like a really scary dream. Like I woke up actually scared. Like something was opening cabinets in the kitchen and slamming them. And then the fridge came on and like talked in a demon voice. Like the fridge lit up and said something in like this really scary demon voice. And it's funny now, but it wasn't in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And husband was like, was it 3 o'clock? Was it 3 a.m. when you woke up? And I was like, no, it wasn't 3 a.m. Calm down. He's like, if it had been 3 o'clock in the morning, I would have woken you up. Call a priest. Anyway, so I stopped reading it at night because I have a hard time going to sleep and I didn't want to have like weird dreams about being kidnapped or something. So,
So I just need to interject, and we can cut this out later if it's not something that's entertaining. But speaking of cabinets opening and closing on their own,
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
this is actually funny. I was downstairs by myself while husband was helping kiddo fall asleep, and I was just sitting on the computer in the living room. Now, we have one of those fancy trash cans where you wave your hand over the sensor and the lid opens, and then after like a few seconds, it closes. It's been like 30 minutes. I'm downstairs by myself, and all of a sudden, I hear the trash can open and close. And then it did it again. And then after about 5 minutes, it's just doing it like nonstop, opening and closing. I am sitting on the couch, sweating, texting or texting husband. I am so scared, panicking. I couldn't move.
oh no.
Because, I mean, first of all, it's ridiculous because what is a ghost just in there thinking, oh, haha, this is funny, like waving their ghost hand over the sensor. So anyway, husband came downstairs. And he was so frustrated. He was like, did you even go in there? And I was like, no, why would I go in there? Like, it's still opening and closing as he comes down the stairs. And he walked in there. There was a bag. There's a bag
Of course.
that
obviously.
had fallen on it. The only logical reason. But that was terrifying.
It's like if something like that happens and you wait long enough, you're not like immediately, what was that? Then you have too much time for like your brain and your body to just go, this is the worst. This is the
Yes.
worst. What's the worst possible scenario that could be happening in there? And that's what it is. And now I'm too scared to go look at it.
Yeah. And that's what happened. I just sat there too long. And somebody recently died, and I was worried that the ghost of that person was angry at me and in the kitchen messing with the trash can. So,
But you gotta watch Ghost Hunters. Like entities just are there. They're trying to communicate and normally aren't hostile.
yeah, I've talked to the
I
other
don't care
one.
if they're hostile or not. I'm not trying to hear anything.
Yeah. Honestly, like I'm flattered and I'm honored that you're trying to communicate with me. You have to know, as a formerly alive person, that I don't know what in the HE double hockey sticks you're trying to tell me, and it's just scary.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's rude. It would be rude.
You got spell it out. You know what? It's cold over there, Hannah. Spell it out in the snow. I know you can.
Yeah. Outside the house. Outside.
Yeah, outside is preferred.
Or hey, your
There's
laundry
a-
room, since that's far.
You really want things to be lurking outside your windows for you to see when you're home alone at night? Like,
That's why we close the blinds.
so Sarah read the book. and got really creeped out about a lot of stuff.
But not the book club book.
Not that book, the other book. I just get wound up about other stuff. Probably because I don't read a lot of stuff like that. I haven't read a lot in general. And I also don't watch stuff that's like going to be suspenseful or put me on edge, because I need to be able to like go to sleep when I get in bed, because I already don't sleep enough.
Yeah, it's unusual. Like, it's so hard to sleep, especially when your adrenaline spiked, your anxiety spiked, you're thinking about all the things that could go wrong.
Yeah, and I'm more sensitive to it. Like now, I used to not be sensitive to that like stuff, but I am now. So, your adrenals and your nervous system are just
fried.
Not in good shape right now.
So we can go back to the book that Amanda chose.
Yeah, and I actually did decide that I should do a little summary because I feel like it'll sound like nonsense if I don't. So it's just a tiny little summary from a website called Shelf Reflection.
Is it Shelf or did you mispronounce that?
It's Shelf Reflection.
Okay. That makes sense. Bookshelf.
So this writer says, the bird's eye view of the book is a science-minded, hockey-playing Ojibwe girl helps the FBI investigate the a meth ring in her tribe in nearby town in the Upper Peninsula, Sault Ste. Marie, while also struggling with grief from the loss of several people close to her. Thoughts? Kidding. I did have questions.
Is it Sault Ste. Marie or Sault Ste. Marie? Because wasn't there a part in the book where they're saying you say it Sault Ste. Marie? Yeah. Sault, not Salt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I physically read it. I did not listen to it. I don't do audiobooks. Listening to it would have been good, because anytime I was reading like an indigenous word, it was like in my brain, it was just like that. And just kind of like a little mumbled up and didn't even try to say it because yeah, I am like, didn't even.
I wished we could somehow just hear what everyone's voice in their head sounded like, rolling their eyes over that word or all those words.
Yeah. It was not good, but I felt rushed, like I needed to finish reading it because of the loan expiring. So that's part of the reason why I did that.
That pressure is very real.
Yeah.
Side note on the language, I feel like our alphabet just doesn't do a great job with the words themselves. They look so unwieldy, but when they're pronounced, they don't sound that way. They sound very lyrical. The language is beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tragic that that's the only way we have to read them.
Isn't it just?
Who reads the audiobook? Whose voice is the audiobook? Like what?
It's the same. I think it's
Is it a woman's voice or a man's voice?
It's a woman's voice, and I think it's the same woman who reads the other book by Angeline. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time recalling this title. Every time I say it, it's so inconvenient. Warrior Girl Unearthed. Jesus, it's the same. I believe it's the same person. And I believe that they're indigenous as well.
So the narrator is Isabella Starr LeBlanc.
Thank you.
And yeah, you're welcome. I also listened to it, and I thought the narrator did a fantastic job. There are some books, I'm not going to name names right now.
I will.
Where I feel like the narrator is harder to listen to, but it was so easy to listen to. And I think you're right, Amanda, that the narrator is indigenous, and hearing the language pronounced as it's supposed to be, it was beautifully done.
Yes. Oh, and I'm so sad. I really wish that Christina and Sarah, that you had done the audiobook version of it, because at the end when Perry, like one of the twins, is speaking the language, like it's so beautiful, and that's what, like,
I've never
I mean,
listened to an audiobook, and I would like to. Yeah, I just don't listen to audiobooks. Also, I don't. Where do you listen to your audiobooks? Audible? Is that what you do?
no, Libby.
No. Oh, Libby. Oh, so maybe I'll try to. I would like to like have a goal of listening to an audiobook during this group. Maybe I'll try to listen to Warrior Girl on Earth.
One that's really fun to do audiobooks, really anything done by Tim Curry. So
I've heard
'cause
you
he
guys
did-
talk about him a
Yeah,
lot.
because he did the Sabriel, like all of those books he did. I
Oh,
think he did all of them.
seriously?
Yes.
And he did a series of unfortunate events. He did like the first 3 or 4 in that series, and I think that's when he
Aw.
had the stroke. So someone else took over, but they're so good.
Yeah, highly recommend. I've listened to those multiple times. I remember getting those from the library when they were still CDs, and I listened to them.
Aw.
And
I never read those either.
they're so good. Well, they are kind of scary, so
Mhm.
maybe not one of your nighttime reads, but
They're not horrible, but they do have a scarier element to them.
yeah,
I mean,
there's a little bit of light gore in them. It's necromancy, so that's going
Yeah.
to be a part of it, but very good to listen to.
You're talking about Sabriel, not.
we
Series
are having 2 different conversations. for
Yeah,
sure.
I thought you were talking about series of unfortunate events, but you said necromancing,
Oh.
and I was like, "That's a series of unfortunate events."
No.
I don't remember
I don't
that
think
from
so.
the movie.
No, it's not.
Okay, I've read
Well.
Sabriel. I haven't read Lyriel, or is there another one too?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think
there's
there are
a few.
like 3 or 4.
I've
Yeah.
only read Sabriel. I loved Sabriel. I have the physical copy of it.
Yeah, there's one final one in the series that Tim Curry did not narrate, but he did the majority of them in that series by Garth Nix. So we're bouncing a little bit all over the place, which I think is natural, and I feel like it's probably going to be. But Amanda, you said you had some questions.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now actually. There are like lots. These are not my original questions. But why reinvent the wheel? I'm not going to do that. So, my first question, it's a nice intro question. There are many strong female role models in Donis's life. Who was your favorite female character out of all of Donis's friends and family? Or was it Donis herself? Mine, personally, I think mine is Lily. I mean, there are so many, but actually, it's either Lily or
I'm trying to remember her name. I can't remember her. Is it her aunt or her grandma? Who's the?
Teddy.
Is that who
Aunt
Lily
Teddy?
lives with?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think
No.
they don't live with.
Lily lives with her great grandma.
Minnie.
Great grandma.
Mustang
Isn't it-
Minnie is great grandma Granny June's friend. So Granny June is
Granny
Lily's
June.
great grandma, who that woman
Yeah. Okay. Granny June. That's who I was trying to
is
think of.
incredible. Her character is
Yeah.
just, yeah.
If I had to pick one that wasn't Donis, because she was such a great character, I would probably pick Granny June.
I love Auntie Teddy.
Yeah.
She's just a beautiful, powerful woman.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any moments with those characters that you picked out that, like, what makes those characters to you the strong female role model?
I loved the moment when Donis had committed to going over to her auntie's house and ended up going over much later. And first, I feel like I should give some spoiler warnings. So, spoilers.
Spoilers for from this moment until the end of this podcast, until the end of time.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
So when she goes over to her auntie's house and she gets there much later, and there's not a moment of berating or just like breaking her down. they just go in the back, and she's like, hey, we're going to do sweat lodge. And I thought that was so powerful to have a female role model in your life who does not immediately jump to the worst assumptions about you. It means a lot as a young person to have somebody who will speak motivation and confidence into you. And that's something that I mean, it's hard to do as a parent. I think it's something that we have to be really intentional about. And for Donis to have that, I thought that was, for me, that's the moment that stood out. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is so powerful. She didn't get embarrassed or shamed. Her auntie was just like, I love you, and we're going to talk. So and that was also the moment for me that made me like auntie. I think I love Granny June too. She's amazing. And Minnie, like there's so many, like you said, so many amazing characters, but that was a beautiful moment.
One of the moments that sticks out to me with Auntie, because I do love her, and as far as like role model, I guess Auntie June, I don't know if I would say she's my favorite because of that, but the moment when Auntie, is that how they say it in the audiobook? Auntie, not Auntie.
Mm-hmm.
I assumed it would be Auntie when I was reading it. After Donis wants to go to the blanket party and she says no, and Auntie's just honest about being a complex person. She didn't justify anything that she did that was like, her blowing up or anything. She didn't justify it, but she didn't apologize for having a big feeling about it, having like a big reaction about it. It just felt really true and honest, and that they still maintain their relationship. It's not like, oh, someone got mad at me that I love, now I have to like shut down. And they could just have a real conversation about it. She didn't shy away from having feelings, and having a reaction to those feelings. That's part of it that a part of the book that I won't forget.
I agree.
But I'm a sucker for anything funny. I'm a sucker for a laugh, so that's why I like Auntie June. Auntie June? Auntie?
Granny.
Do they say it? Granny, not Auntie.
Granny.
Sorry.
Yeah, and I love Minnie so much. I love Minnie and June's banter. I'm obsessed. It was nice comedic. It was like a nice comedic break to have that element.
The moment with Granny June, her character is more than just humor, and I think that's what makes it so brilliant, because it's grief and it's sorrow and it's power and it's talking about the background of the, spoiler alert, her daughters, and how they were taken to the schools, and then the moment that makes me, I really love her for so many reasons, but then when Donis's application is given to her at the Elder Center, right?
I was just thinking about that.
Mhm.
It just makes me cry every time now. Consistently, I just have to cry over it because it's so beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
Donna's having struggled with that in so many different ways her whole life, and then she makes that decision, and they give it to her, and they're like, and it's going to need, this many signatures, affidavits from elders. Like, you need 3, and they have them ready right there. And then, all 27 just lined up right there. It was one of the highs of the book, definitely.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay, so did you guess before the reveal that Levi was part of the murderer / drug ring? And then what did you think about his sibling relationship with Donis? Did anyone guess that? I did. Especially after the bank account, her discovering that. I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
For sure, it's this guy.
I had a feeling just because of the way that their relationship was talked about throughout the book. I had a sneaking suspicion. And
Yeah.
what did I think about their relationship?
It's hard to, because I don't, like, I'm assuming that none of us like relate to having that kind of a sibling relationship. Is he younger? Yeah, he's young, but like a few months.
Yeah, barely,
Yeah.
right? I don't even think it was a few months.
Might
Yeah,
not
they're
have
both
been.
the same age. His mom held
Yeah.
him back in school.
Yeah. I liked that it was sorry, I don't want to be an interrupting cow. I liked that the theme of something bad happening to somebody, tragedy happening to somebody doesn't make them inherently like virtuous or good, which is true. And that's like a complex thing that everyone is confronted with, I feel like, at some point or another. Like, I think everyone probably knows of somebody or probably knows somebody personally who maybe has not been the most virtuous or kind or, nice person. And then maybe something tragic happened to them and you've got these like really complicated feelings of like, wow, that's really, really horrible. And you're like, am I wrong for thinking anything bad about this person now because they had this horrible tragedy happen to them? And I really, really, that was one of my favorite parts about the book was that two things can be true at the same time.
For sure. I think that's also true. I see that theme with Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like first of all, like to talk about Travis's character, like it's impossible to have that conversation without
Yeah.
like recognizing all the systemic injustices. Oh, like his the drug addiction. I think as a reader, when I was introduced to Travis, like there was I had so much empathy and pity for that character. And it's really interesting for me to kind of step back and look at my own like timeline of thoughts about it, because my empathy waxed and waned the more I learned about the character. And I also think that that's probably due to my hyper individualism, like that, because we're not taught to think in terms of community, just in general. But everything is in the context of community within Indigenous cultures. And I feel like I'm rambling a lot, but I think that Travis's character, yeah, revealed kind of my hyper individualism individualistic approach. Anyway, someone else
Yeah.
pick up the talking stick.
I think that's a good. Oh my gosh, I'm going to switch into corporate language. Nice call out, Amanda. But I think it's important when we talk about books like this to bring up the systemic pieces of the influence in this book, because I mean, we don't have to understand it perfectly to understand that there is a problem, and to also understand that we can have a responsibility to learn more about it and to talk about it, because that was a huge theme in this book. I did not know about the different laws. I mean, I knew there are different laws on reserves and off the reserve, but when it came to the nuances at the end about how prosecution could occur after the horrible crime that happened, I was talking to my therapist about that, and then she started talking about the huge problem of that actually exists. And I was like, gosh, I knew that problem existed, and I've known that for a while, but I never made that connection to that systemic piece around laws on reserves versus off and things like that. And it's just me showing my ignorance around that topic. But that was a big learning opportunity for me to, gosh, I in a motel in Idaho all by myself as I finished that book, just thinking about all of those things and crying a lot, because it's really powerful and so sad. But I thought the author did a beautiful job of showing this is going to sound so cliche, but like the strength that can come from the community piece when it comes to pulling together when things are hard.
Yeah, and it's like the way that community is talked about is not like it's not something that is like an additional thing to function. It's like it is the entire point of functioning is community. The what sustains you and like why you're here is community. Because I think that my default is like to view an individual and then view an individual with community as like a bonus. But that's so counterintuitive to the themes in this book, and also to just well, I think to everything, but also I feel like I need to not move my mic around so much.
No, I think she does a really good job of making that a point, especially Donna's, the language she has or use herself. She describes the dance of the powwow as a symbiotic thing, like parts of a cell coming together as a whole.
Yeah.
She brings home that idea of connectivity and like you're connected. And it's like my favorite poem, like, thou canst not stir a flower without troubling of a star. It talks about that idea of like our actions and our relation to everyone and everything around us matters, and we can't exist in a vacuum. We are here. Our impact matters, and the way other people impact us matters, and it's a lot to think about.
It's a lot to think about, especially with a Western mind. It's a lot because it's just like
because it's an individualist versus collectivist kind of mindset. You've got
Also,
their actions for the whole versus your actions for yourself.
I was just going to say, I feel like also our infrastructure alone kind of inhibits us and makes it so much harder to have community like that, because everything is so spread apart unless you live somewhere, super expensive, or you can walk everywhere and everything's close together. Like we can't even walk to a park, and we live in like a neighborhood. We're not in, not to get too detailed, but we're not isolated from stuff, but we can't even walk to a park. And we go up to like 35-40 minutes to go to certain like community things. Everything's just so spread out and separate, and you have to drive everywhere, and that takes time. And like every time I read about, hear about, or visit a place where anything, we walked to go here, we walked here, when she's talking about walking to or running to, which gag, I could never run anywhere, but running to the elder center, running to to see her grandmother at the wherever it was, hospital. I get like viscerally jealous, B, annoyed, because that's not possible for like most people, most places that you live. That's just not an option. And it's so annoying. And every time I get in the car to drive somewhere and there's the smallest human crying in the car on the way to where we're going, this is going to sound so dramatic, but I'm like, everything about this is wrong. Babies weren't made to be like separated from their mom or their dad or somebody for this long, because cars weren't even invented until pretty recently.
I hate cars. hate
and
them.
now I have to sit here and listen to children, my like baby in distress because I have to drive 15 minutes to go to a grocery store or 20 minutes to go here. And this isn't right. Like, this is not what they're wired for. Everything about this is so wrong. Yeah.
Isn't
Can
that an
you hear
incredible
that?
thing? Like, oh, yeah,
Sorry.
there's a kiddo. I, how those cards are stacked against having a real community, right? Against the people.
And it's intentional. Like that's by design. That's intentional.
Right. And so you saw that, and then it was forcible, it was ugly, it was terrible the way that they forced that on the indigenous people. And she talks about the Ojibwe's history with that. And it's really, really incredible to me, like how she just tells the story and their realities, right? Their realities that we never had to face, that we don't know people that had to face. And it's not dramatized. It's just from them. It's from her as, one of them. And yeah, like looking at that and reading how they still have, community, how they've fought for it, and it's not what it could have been. So much has been done to stop it.
Also, just so
but
I
it's
don't
still
get us
there.
canceled in the first episode, I'm not saying that to say like I wish I lived on a reservation. Like the whole idea that had to be a thing, not that's not what I'm trying to say at all.
No,
that
yeah,
that occurred in the first place. That they are. I mean, all of it's atrocious. The like segregation and everything, and how that came about. I'm not saying I'm like jealous of that and like, oh, they're so lucky they get to live on a reservation.
Right.
Not what I'm trying to say.
No, it just is acknowledging what a beautiful thing community is and how it gives life to people.
And also how inherently it's a community is a form of resistance. Inherently.
Yes.
Kind of across the board.
Yeah.
Well,
it has to be to survive in America right now, I think, in many ways.
Oh, yeah.
And isn't it funny that it was colonized by people who really, being in Europe, they still have like those little walkable, everything is there. People are in community here in many ways. I know it's not a reality across the board at all, but you can still find that, I think, much more easily. So there's something about that mindset.
Before we end, there's a beautiful moment in the book that I feel like is worth very quickly bringing up, and it was the ceremony at the end that Donis attended with the pansies.
Yes.
And the power in that, that moment, first of all, it was surprising to me. I wasn't expecting it after all of the things that had happened. I don't know why, but I thought it was so beautiful to show the community of women who have experienced SA coming together to essentially tell their story, release it, and find healing together. And that's so real and so powerful. I think for me, that was a moment that I cried the most, because it is so hard to take something that happened to you and shift from a headspace of bad things happen to everybody and everything sucks to bad things happen and there's a community of people who've also had bad things happen too, and we can lean on each other. And I think that speaks well to the community conversation that we were just having about how they just leaned on each other. And wow, it hurt so much when she was told, I was glad you weren't at these ceremonies before.
And how Lily said that she was always happy to not see you here.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I wanted to bring that up because I thought that was so powerful.
Yeah.
So I think that was some great conversation about the book. Do we want to give some kind of rating? I feel like this is first of all, it was an incredible book, but
Yeah. So good. And like, I mean, I love that it was when the publishers are like, we want a glossary for the language. She was like, no, because I'm not centering the white voice. Like, this is not. There's enough context, which there was. There's plenty of context for us to pick up on the language.
Yeah.
Even though we couldn't pronounce it in our heads, those of us who read it. I'm so glad that she didn't include a glossary. But I also think, and this is not about the book, but like she said, she started writing it when she was 40. And I might just be re-explaining this to a lot of people, but I mean, to those who've already listened to the interview. But personally, I was like, oh, thank God she was doing something else and had stepped into her now career, but it took 10 years and she did it with her little morning time, 30 minutes of writing. So
I loved how it came about too. That it talks about that at the very end of the book. There's a whole, like a little section I was reading that talks about kind of how the book came about, and it talks about her friend telling her about the guy at school that she thought she would like or whatever, who turned out to be an undercover cop. I thought that was so interesting. Also, we're still under a spoiler alert because this is major spoiler. But when Donis dies, when she's like, well, I about came out of my skin and called, I thought it was Christina who recommended the book. And I was like, fired, because I thought she was actually dead. And I was like, no. I did not just read this whole book for that to happen. How could Christina ever recommend a book where the main character actually dies? No.
It's out of character for me, right? I have DNF series because I found out the main character kicked the bucket for, from my point of view, no good plot reason at all.
Yeah.
So those aren't for me. They just are not my books unless I'm reading about real history, because these things do happen. It is real.
But she tries to avoid it when she can.
Yeah, and this is about escaping reality, right?
I read for fun, people. I don't know what you think's fun.
Not me. I read for her.
That was my final note. Just that, we probably won't be going over any books in this podcast where it ends that way, right? Because I'm not going to recommend any.
Everybody look at Hannah.
Hannah?
Y'all don't need to worry about Hannah.
Okay, Hannah's not making any promises. That's fine.
That's true. Amanda, you're completely out of left field.
I just wasn't expecting it from a book that I thought Christina recommended. I was like, there's no way.
Okay, well, this was originally recommended to me by my librarian friend. And when I read the book, I had the benefit of her. She gave me a trigger warning. So I think that actually kind of colored my reading of it, because I didn't want to feel all the emotions, knowing what that would be like, just, me being me. She knew that I was really sad at that time, so she wanted to let me know ahead of time, like, hey, but it's amazing. And it was. I was like, thank you, because it was an incredible experience. And she had gone through and written little translations for all the Anishinaabe language, like in the margins, because it was her personal copy that she lent me. And that was really neat to have those notes. So thank Ash. Shout out to Ash. She's good at
Ash is such a cool name.
Ash, we love your Pokemon.
Oh my gosh. She would appreciate that joke. So there you go.
So we will be reading another book and sharing about it in a month. If you listened to this whole thing, thank you so much for joining us. Wow. We are flattered.
You must really be obsessed with us if you actually listen to this.
Wow, that's so embarrassing for you.
Yeah.
we need to be nicer to ourselves, everybody, okay? Like,
Hey, I'm being
Oh my
nice. I'm also
gosh.
I'm being real because there was, I know that I went off, I went off the deep end. I jumped down a few rabbit holes, and I don't think part of me's still down there. So
Yeah, I'm really, really bad about going down rabbit holes and interrupting.
yeah, interrupting cow over there.
It is my
Last note.
personality.
Highly recommended. The book, we highly recommend it.
5 out of 5, 6 out of 5 stars.
yeah,
Seriously.
So
Yeah.
good.
beautiful writing, beautiful story. You will learn things. So good. I can see why it won awards. It's just an amazing book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Firekeeper's daughter, Angeline Boulley.
Angeline Boulley. We love you, girl.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
This
Bye.
is such an awkward sign
See ya.
off.
Cut it. Cut it for the love of all that's holy. Just turn it off.
Bye.
Hannah, turn it off.